Okay, we're back at the rear bumper again. Hidden hitch behind the license plate. What I did is I had a custom stinger developed and built. That basically what it is instead of just tying into this, you can just tie into that if you want to, but if you want to also, I've got another receiver that's welded to the frame, steel bar all the way across, another steel bar all the way across, and a third one for the shocks. For stiffness and stability back here. So basically I've got a stinger that's about 2.5 feet long that comes down and then drops down just a little bit, because I was always carrying my dirt bike on the back and I wanted the weight of that carrier and the dirt bike to actually be really centered off the whole rear of the truck and not just the last like 6 inches of the frame, because I didn't want to ever do any damage to the frame. Well, a pair of old Emu shocks on the rear. This shock boot is just starting to get worn out, and so it slides down. Bay Area metal fab, rear brake relocation bracket. The rear springs are Old Man Emu Dakars with an Old Man Emu add-a-leaf in there. All Pro or Wilderness. I don't know. I don't remember the brand on the axle flip kit, but nothing hanging down on the axle. No leaks in the rear end. There's a little bit of residual oil on there, but I think that's all from oil changes and whatnot. Gas tank skid has a little bit of rust on it, and of course the exhaust system has rust on it. No rust on the frame. And I'm going to try to get better pictures of the frame, of course, but trying to get good pics of the frame underneath the truck has proven to be a little bit challenging. Exhaust is cut right up over here just for clearance purposes. It's the original exhaust that's on there. Let's see, what else? Stainless wheelers, out of Grants Pass, Oregon wheelers. Stainless braided brake lines, front and rear. Bigger shackles in the back. Comes with the original shackles, so if you decided there was just a wee bit too much lift in the back, because right now it sits a little bit high in the back, specifically because I always had a lot of gear in the box, in the toolbox in the back. So if you decide it's too high, you can just swap back to the OEM shackles and keep the regular springs on here, and you'd probably have a perfectly level truck, would be my guess, because these had about an 1.5 inches, 1.25 inches additional lift. Axle relocation plates are in between the leaf springs and the axle. You can either use them to bump the axle forward or back to center the wheels within the wheel well. Currently they're set to back, if I recall correctly. With different springs, you'll want to have them go forward or back. So let's see here. So I don't know if this video will show it at all. So that's the exhaust, obviously, but got to do a better job cleaning this frame, of course. But it's paint. It's not rust. The frame has been boxed in and reinforced on the outside. So starting right here and all the way back to here is a plate that's welded to the frame on the outside of the frame on both sides. That reinforces the rear of the frame. The inside of the rear frame, as you know on these trucks, is a C-channel frame. So starting right back here, have a kit, steel, and it goes all the way to right there. And so that boxes in the frame. And then everything is tied between that boxed area as far as these shock relocation mounts. Both shocks to the rear. They're a little bit more in the middle, and then they both go to the rear. They are not angled towards the center or anything like that, just for stability purposes, going around corners, etc. I'm gonna turn this off and then I'll take some more pics and then maybe try to do a third vid under the hood.